impressive how much water's come through these parts.
Yeah, this is just crazy flowing water a couple of weeks ago. It really is the heart of nature, the rain. It brings so much life. There's a lot to be learned from a good wet season.
How's this for a view?
Magic spot.
Tell you what, this is one of the best campsites we've found, I reckon.
Well, it's going to be hard to beat once this smoke settles down. We get a bit more fire here.
It would be one of the most secluded, scenic little camp spots we've found in our travels. Ocean, a few clicks that way.
You can almost hear the ocean from here on a rough day, I'd reckon.
It is the perfect spot to launch a little campaign into some new learnings around it.
I was going to say get smoked out.
That too.
Doesn't seem to matter where I go around, there's fire at the moment. It follows
Just chasing you.
Well, it's going to be a hot night tonight.
If she's still and hot tomorrow, that could mean an interesting arvo for storm activity.
It could mean big storms.
Keep an eye on that.
Keep an eye on them as
situation.
Definitely keep an eye on them as the day goes on.
The coastline in the background, that's so pretty.
Something special about North Queensland.
So much coastline up here too.
So much coastline. The Great Divide dumps straight into the ocean.
To date, we'd tested the estuaries, we'd tested some of the inshore reefs. We wanted to then get on top of the reefs.
I think they got the weather right. Temporarily, anyway.
That's right, we'll take it.
We'll take it while we've got it. Get up on the reef flats, work the edges, see if we can find GTs.
Trout and emperors and even fish like Spanish mackerel, all those sort of species you find in and around those shallow reefs. We really wanted to see what the wet season influence had done to that fishing.
Coming up onto the shallows now, it's magic. You never get tired of pulling up on a place like this. Lots of bait all through here, isn't there? More bait out there, look at it all through here, right in front of us.
The Barrier Reef is known for the greatest fish variety on the planet, so when you get onto a reef, there's so many different species that you can play with. High on the list for us as sporting anglers is always fish like your giant trevally.
We'll come sort of up around here, I think, and we'll just start working our way down that front edge of the reef. Come through, we work all these little cracks up through here. Plenty of bait, few to get nervous.
Very nervous. I like it. The plan was always to start on the surface, a mixture of really fastly worked surface lures across the top, big profile, and also a subsurface, slowly sinking stick bait.
Get in there, get in there, get in there.
Those two options really cover a lot of bite situations.
Oh, here he is, here he is, here he is.
Oh, got him.
Pulled up on the reef and we said, we're on here. There was bait everywhere. We were in the zone straight up.
I'm keep him up.
Keep him up. Lucky day, little one, Nige.
It's in the right spot.
The fast across the top gives you that reaction bite, and slowly sinking one will often pull out those fish that are not quite so sure, and it sits in front of their face more often.
They just don't give up, even that size. Shows you how aggressive they can be. That lure's probably a third the size of that fish, and it's got no worries with coming out to try and kill it. They are super aggressive, just apex predators of the reef. The giant trevally are such apex predators of this environment. Pretty much everything's afraid of them. They'll cruise up here in the shallows to eat. So fusiliers, up to coral trout, it's all fair game for these. I reckon if I was GT, I know what that language would mean. That I don't like you, and put me back. It's exactly what's going to happen.
Good sign of activity on a reef is to see nervous bait fish. Fusiliers is a common one, and they certainly spray the surface of the water.
When you find them schools of fusies, the GTs are very rarely far behind you.
So it's very much a sign we look for when we're targeting big predatory fish on the reef.
Oh, see? Just the ugly fighters. All you can do is put that rod hook right up high and try and lift them.
There's no more exciting view in fishing than having a big marauding giant trevally suddenly start imploding in a lure you're winding across the top.
You got him. It's all about keeping leverage on the fish and keeping that face up. There's a whole pack.
There's a whole pack there.
Oh, there you go. He fell off. Bugger. Today we're chosen to fish stick baits because of their versatility, and at the moment we're using a variety of the venom stick baits, which are titled Subsurface Stick Baits, and we love the name just for a start because we knew there's so many different ways to use it. And in reality, I'm fishing it across the top, which means fast retrieve, even though it's meant to work with that nice, subtle side-by-side action down underneath, just beneath the surface. I can get it on the top, and we can skid it across the top, Nico, and I think you've got about 50 other ways to fish these things.
They are such a versatile lure. There's so many ways to fish them, which is really great. Makes a versatile lure, meaning whatever the fish is doing, whatever the mood's doing, you can try and match that lure to create a bite. And I like to often use a sort of a lower rod tip, a slight sweeping and twitching motion, so really getting the dart and sort of semi-walk the dog action, and the fish are a little bit subdued, a bit quiet. Sometimes that'll get the bite.
Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry. Oh,
I got away. Other way, move your rod the other way.
sorry, I didn't know which side I was on. Could not have landed any better on top of your line.
No,
Do you like that little bit of sabotage?
That was great.
Great sabotage.
The bigger fish just weren't there. Not sure if they've all moved on due to this weather. They've gone out looking for cleaner water or cooler water.
We're very used to those inshore reefs being crystal clear, like stunning parts of the world to fish. This wasn't the usual clarity we expect.
It was very green. You could tell there was a lot of freshwater influence on there, although the water's obviously salty. It was the flow-on effect from the flood that was still sitting out over the reef that obviously gave us a few unwanted challenges.
The plan was always to fish the reef flats all day. It's just one of the most exciting forms of fishing. You get to see a lot of the action. And for us, sight fishing is what it's all about. We get to watch fish hunt. That's us.
We had bait, we had a few fish biting, but I wasn't satisfied. I'd done one mistake that I do regularly, and that was I left fish to find fish.
And we pushed to another section of the reef and probably wasted some time there, finding it to be completely dead.
It's pretty. It's just quiet.
It's very pretty, but yes, it's very quiet.
We came back to where we started.
Got him.
Just going kind of soft on him.
Look at him, squid over there.
What, squids? That's probably what he was up here eating. Nice bite. We learnt a little lesson here, didn't we? We had a whole lot of activity here, and we're pushing to what we thought was more productive parts of the reef. We kind of left these fish, and then where we went was the current was different. The bait was different.
Non-existent different.
It's a mistake I reckon I've made so many times. Come on, stay on, buddy. Flashing and rolling out there. What a cool fish. Puffing and panting. One of Nikolai's favourite fish. He's a little bit addicted to these.
I am.
There's a very good reason for that. They are one of the most exciting predators to encounter. And this is one of the most stunning places to come across them.
Let him go and get another one. This is where I want my ashes spread because I want to spend eternity out here. Was that emotional enough?
We had a flurry of activity at the beginning, and we made a little bit of a mistake in terms of we actually thought the whole reef might be like that. And we're only, at that stage, we're encountering juvenile GTs, which is so much fun, but we thought we could do better.
Got very quiet over this side of the reef. Learnt very quickly by pushing up onto the reef flats, up into the shallows where I thought the fish should be. There was no activity at all.
And the whole place completely shut down, which wasn't part of the plan, but it did force us to change our plans and start heading to deeper water.
I think that's where we need to be.
Birds are your eye in the sky. They're finding bait. They're leading you to the fish, so always be observant of what the birds are doing. And they were working pretty hard in that area.
And where we pushed up to those birds, we found tuna schools.
Started chasing a tuna or two, only to find that there was a lot of bludger trevally there. We got stuck into the bludgers for a little session.
Quickly threw a lot of opportunity at us to go catch some bait, as well as throwing some jigs and other stuff down into the equation. The mac tuna and the bludger trevally were going nuts.
Hopping up everywhere now.
They were totally intent on feeding on this small bait school that they'd found. They weren't the slightest bit fussed about us. They were coming up to the boat. We were virtually having fun pulling lures away from them for a little bit. We caught a couple to keep as baits, and then as hard as it is leaving fish going nuts, we knew we had better fish to catch.
30 metres. Oh, that's a better one. That's a bottle fish. Yep.
The bottom sounding around where those fish were feeding on the top was insane. There was serious signs of life on the bottom, big bait schools. You could see big independent arches sitting around them, so signs of trout, nanny guy, a variety of species down there.
Beautiful little bar cheek trout.
Oh, bravo, Nico, bravo.
Nico's first drop, we had that first really decent hookup.
Mustard, 80 gram. Zippy did the job on this one. We dropped down on some life. It all comes down to having a really well set up transducer. We'll run at 25 knots, marked up life at speed. Said to Nigel, you want to go back for a quick drop? And he was very keen to. First drop down, 2 or 3 quick winds of the reel, engaged, and we come up with this beautiful bar cheek trout.
Here we go.
Oh,
You right?
yep.
Yep, here we go.
Got him, Nigel?
Yep.
What you got, bottom fish?
Yeah, I think so. Yep, feels like a reefy, this one. Yeah, we'll take that. We'll take that one.
Nice little nanny.
Nice little nanny.
But that's that school size.
You called it virtually to precision, Nikolai. Saw the sounder and went, what do you reckon they are? They look a bit nanny-ish. And Nico went, yep. They look like that school-size nanny. Howdy, Nico catches them up around that 90 centimetre, pushing the metre mark. Much bigger than this fish, but I tell you what, it's up. It's avoided the sharks. I'm very happy with that.
And just while we're talking about being on point, will not call that for a golden
You
trevally?
did call it for a golden trevally. Well done. The fish whisperer.
That's lovely, Nigel.
Yes, we'll take that one.
We will definitely take that one. Doesn't get much more. North Queensland, pigeon pair. You're catching goldens, you're in the zones for the nannies, so I'm pretty happy to see that.
I know, and tasty, pulled hard. Got past the sharks.
You got the tasty one. I got the one that pulled hard.
That one's going hard. I know, kind of like that deal.
Well,
Anyway,
I'll
dinner's starting to look better by a minute.
yours is, and I'm going to get mine back in the water.
Righto,
Going back down.
down we go.
I generally like to keep my eye on the sounder, and I noticed some really nice structure down deep in about 20, 25 metres of water.
Trying to get home.
Too good an opportunity not to drop a jig down in and just to see what would happen. We'll bend over with a nice coral trout or two to fill the esky with. Oh, what do we got? Nice big trouty. Oh,
Nico.
great big trouty.
Nico.
Into that boat you come. That's a great trout for the little venom. He went hard, but sorry, bud. There's this really cool ice bath. It's the biggest trend at the moment everyone's talking about. You're about to experience it.
Dinner.
Dinner.
There's one. Come on, come
Nice fish, Nigel.
Thunder rolls. There's a decent flash before. We had stock standard tropical wet season weather that afternoon. The storm started rolling in and some of them were looking pretty significant. So we thought this is a good time to let's push a bit wider. We may have to be making our way back around these storms on the way home.
Been whinging about being hot all day.
Here we go.
Now we're going to be wet and cold. A bit of rain to the east, thunder and lightning to the west. We're right in the middle of it all. And I think these influences what created the fish activity. There was a bit of movement in the environment, so the fish got active and we tried to capitalise on that. I don't know why I do this to myself.
We started catching trout, which is awesome. We love catching trout. And then Nico hooked up to a serious beast that we spent a lot of time chasing.
Could be the world's biggest spangled emperor.
You're always guessing when you're hooked up to a big fish that tows you, and I think this fish towed us probably about 1.5 k's when we looked at the track lines.
We have covered a fair bit of ground.
The signs that we were getting through the rod tip suggested a big tail beat of a trevally. After a while, you can feel the behaviour of a fish through a line. And
I'm starting to feel it in my lats.
you can be proven wrong, but in this case, we're pretty confident it was a very, very big giant trevally that Nico was playing with.
There's a bit of colour, still a long way away.
Often in long, extended fights with big fish, they tend to find ways to wear themselves free, and in this case, that's exactly what happened.
Oh no, just popped it.
Nico fought this fish beautifully, didn't break the line, it just managed to pull the hook. No, straight in the hook.
Straight in the hook.
That's a lot of fish. Nico would be crushed. He hides it pretty well sometimes, but every battle with a fish is competitive for Nico. He likes to win, and he fought that really well, so he didn't cry, but I think there was a few tears inside.
Couldn't have done anything else.
We were calm. He just must have seen, I could just see colour then. Just seen the boat, he's given that one last kick. I reckon that had a held in that last one. Might have been a different story.
Big G.
Or it was big GT. He looked, that was broad and he was
Still
not sharky looking. Yeah. And you could tell by that lure that there's no shark bites on that. That's toothy. Oh well, you win some, you lose some. We definitely put the little venom through its paces just then.
Don't know if they quite designed it with that in mind, but you know.
Well, there's only one way to test them, and so far, it's living up to its reputation.
Yeah.
We had to keep our eye on that weather. That storm was sort of building, pushing out towards the coast, and we had to make the decision, do we run? Do we stick it out? What do we do? So we sort of had to try and weave and duck around a few storms.
Nico has set up his transducer beautifully in this new boat. It can read exceptionally well at high speeds. You're getting a crystal clear reading of the bottom, which means when you're moving, you're always searching. And he's stumbled on this great little spot in the middle of nowhere. A little bit of structure, holding a bucket load of life.
My predictions straight up just said that has got to be redfish. It's got to be nanny. Too good to pass up on it. Just couldn't help myself. So done the lap, went back, got right on top of the mark. That's about where the chaos unleashed.
Straight away, the bite was aggressive. And you know when big fish are eating a bait. There's one. Come on, come
What's
on.
fish like?
There's no little rattles and sharp tugs. You get one bump, nothing happens for a few seconds, and then there's a slow, drawn-out load of the rod tip towards the water, and you know what's going to happen when you lift. It's on. You're going to get stretched. It was chaotic. These were super powerful fish.
Oh, geez, come on.
And the first sign of one coming to the top, though, beautiful red colour, game on. That was a nanny guy.
Oh, it's a lovely nanny. Lovely nanny. On the jig too.
This looks red.
Great little fish. Shows the versatility of running baits and jigs at the same time. It's the 80 gram Zippy from Wilson's, getting the job done. Just a single hook, bit of flash on it. Slow work just off the bottom.
God.
He's a great fish,
That's a big
Nige.
fish.
That's a
That's a
great
big one.
fish.
Nanny guy is one of his favourite species in these parts. I think his favourite species on the planet. He loves catching them.
I think they are my favourite fish.
Probably, definitely number one. Probably closely followed by the GT.
Yes.
There's a reason you love them, where you catch them, how hard they pull, the mysterious little habits, and very much that they often hang around little freshwater vents and peculiar places like that, which, being that we're testing wet season theories, very interesting that nannies will probably come to play.
Yes, definitely so.
Yeah, cracker. Big stripper Mac tuna did the job here.
Mac tuna is probably my favourite strip bait for particularly nanny guy. Straight on it. That's a nanny. I'm calling it early. It's nice and oily and bloody. Nice big long strips of Mac tuna. Generally, if there's a nanny around, they're not going to refuse it.
Yep. Yes.
Oh, he's so powerful. How good's the tail beat?
What's there not to love about a nanny guy? Another nice nanny. That is beaut. We've come home strong at the end of the afternoon. It was a tough morning. Shows that tidal effect has really played a lot. The water was very green up on the reef. Perhaps the freshwater influence has made a bit of a difference, but the slightly deeper water, the wonkies, they're obviously producing well. We've caught a couple of great fish, and I guess that's the thing about fishing. If you're persistent enough, you work hard for the day, you come home with the red.
The rewards. We've got some storm chasing to do on the way home.
Up here, it's pretty standard to have these afternoon storms build. I've run my way through quite a few of them, and there's not a lot you can do about it, so we just had to batten down the hatches and embrace what was ahead of us. I think the boat handled it pretty well. We got wet, but we were getting wet from the top and from the side, so it didn't really matter, we were just getting wet.
We caught some stingy rain, we like to call it. Hurts. I like to let Nico deal with it face on. I love to just put my back to it and pretend it's not there for a bit. The boat eats up chop. I think Nico's got that whole spot on. That whole rides beautifully. The reverse chines work.
That cold beer we get home is going to be delicious.